What's going on, guys? Kivox here, and welcome to a new WandsDay. I don't know how many wands I have. Maybe 4, 3. Let me count real quick. Hold on. Okay, I got 4 new wands, and 2 of the wands that were on the shop. They were sister wands, brother wands, sibling wands, whatever. I'm gonna break them up, and I'm gonna put them up separately. That being said, new WandsDay. I show you guys the new wands for this kind of week. I've been kind of doing it every week. Last week I did a wand review. This week I'm gonna do a new WandsDay. So like I said, 4 new wands will be going up in the shop. If you see these wands and you are a patron, you do get first dibs at them. So if you are interested, message me on Discord or on Patreon, whatever's easier for you. Discord's a little bit easier for me, and then we can get the ball rolling for you to pick it up. If you want to become a patron, the link will be at the end of the video and in the description. There are a few perks. Besides joining the Discord, you also get, like I said, first dibs at the wands. So let's get started with the 2 wands that I said were going up separately. Now, so these are both on the shop as of the recording of this together, but they are going to be split up, and I'm going to be putting them up separately. So you can pick them both up if you want, but if you like them separately, if you like one more than the other, or if you just like one of them and you just want to buy one, I feel like it'll make it a little bit easier for you guys. These were weird. I was trying something a little weird. There's actually a little bit, just hit myself in the face with that. I actually carved this part out right here and inserted a little bit of this gold resin in there, which is fun because I actually have a few other ones. What, 2? Yeah, I got 2 other ones in here that I did also use some resin with. And then I have one possibly coming up in the next batch as well. So if you miss out on any of these, hopefully you like the next one. I just kind of was on a resin kick. So these, I was trying to do something creepy, and I actually used one branch and I split it into 2 pieces, and that's why they're kind of, they're a part of the same piece, but separated into 2. I actually believe that they were like this. Yeah, I did a little bit of 2 different finishes on them. So this one's a little bit more whitish and this one's a little bit darker. Mostly just the way that I finished it. I didn't add any color to it. I did do a little bit of burning and obviously a little bit of dremeling over here, and obviously the insert in there. I think they're both really cool, weird, very organic style wands. From one side, they, it's kind of like a branch. The other side, you have more of a weird half a wand almost design, except it's just as fat as a regular wand. They're both really weird, same styling for both, obviously, but not exactly the same. So now that we got that one out of the way, let's start off with, I would say, the classiest out of all of these, this little guy right here. So this is made out of purple heart, and there's a little accent here at the end. First, I thought about adding a little bit of silver to this to kind of bring some of that little bit of, you see how it has a little trim, the little silver trim around the edge. I thought about bringing some of that in here, but then I was like, no, that is like, I want that to stand out. I want that to be the only like focal point. So instead of doing that, I had a little bit of black here, and then I added the whole blade of the wand pretty much is black. And then there's some fuzz. There's a little bit of fuzz on there. And then obviously we have these the facets here. And there's actually a little bit of, I did a little bit of dry brushing on there to bring out some of those high edges, just with a little bit of black. I didn't actually do any burning on this. I didn't want to burn it. I wanted to keep it just kind of like classy. And when you burn things, it kind of gives it a little bit of a different effect. It gives it more of a rustic look as opposed to what I was going for with this one, which was a little bit more on the classy side. And I kind of just wanted to keep a simple, straight, very small handle guard. No guard on this one. It's definitely one of the ones that you would hold more towards the middle. I think right here is a pretty comfortable spot. I think I mentioned this before. I feel like a good point to hold it is kind of where the balancing point is. That's kind of what usually works out for me. Pommel heavy wands, usually you wanna kind of grab the pommel itself and use it this way. This one, I mean, it can still work. You can hold a wand whatever way you want, but I just feel like some wands just feel better when you hold them in the middle more. Some feel better when you hold them a little bit more towards the end. This one I definitely would say is more of a center grip. So this one was partially made on the lathe. So basically this little section right here was made on the lathe, and then the rest was made using a sanding drum basically, and a Dremel, and some paint and a paintbrush, that type of stuff. But yeah, this section right here, that's really the only way to get something that even and straight looking. There's really no way around it. As much as I try not to use the lathe, occasionally you need to. You really, some things you can only do on the lathe, you know? I'm gonna save the something special for last. It's gonna be a kind of a polarizing thing. Either you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. It is the biggest wand I think I've ever made, like lengthwise. It's also possibly one of my favorites. I'm like contemplating like keeping it as my 2020 wand. If you're on Discord and you're a patron, let me know what you think. You think I should keep it, or do you think I shouldn't? I'll kind of let you guys decide. If you guys, you know, anybody on there responds to this. I don't know. I really like it. But anyway, that one's going to be for last. Okay, next up. You guys may have already seen this one. This is the one. There's a lot of cat fur up here. So if you're allergic to cats and you get one of my wands, there may be a little bit of cat fur on there. I try to clean them off as best you can. But, you know, cats, they shed. Gets everywhere. I'm sorry. This guy is made of some maple and a little bit of resin. And we got some, I was kind of going for like that icy crystal look here. I think it came out pretty good. I did obviously a little bit of burning before putting it in there. And then there's also a little bit of like some silver paint in there and stuff, just to kind of give it a little bit of some, I don't know, some weirdness. I was going for that secret wood look. Obviously these facets go all the way into here. I could polish this up even more, but I kind of like the a little bit of that hazy, the hazy look. I don't know. That's the reason I'm keeping it that way. And then we just have a simple-ish handle and blade guard here. I think this one came out pretty nice. It's a little bit on the shorter side. It's about 12 1/4. I actually forgot to tell you the lengths of the other ones. This guy is 14 1/2. And then these other two are actually super long. 15 1/4 for this. And 15 roughly 1/4 as well for the second one. After doing Meekachii's 2020 wand, everybody was like, oh, that's so cool, and I want to see more of that. So I tried it. I did a few times with these. You know, I got this one. The next one I'm going to show you also has a little bit of resin in it. And they both came out pretty cool. This one's definitely a little bit more on the simple side. We just have this really cool crystal look at the end, and I think I think a lot of people are going to definitely like this little guy. Remember guys, we do also do a wand review. It just came out a couple days ago. I released the previous one. So whenever you send a picture for that, if you want to send in your wand to get reviewed, take a picture like this, pretty much. Like set the wand down on the table and roughly frame it like this. You don't have to get in super close, go all the way to the edge. If you want, just make sure that the ratio for the screen is this 16 by 9. That's what we want. So 16 by 9. I have to tell you guys this every single video I make. Every time I mention the wand review videos, by the way, you send them over to newwandsday@gmail.com and I will check them out, get to them eventually. I'm way behind. I'm all the way like in September right now of last year. Catching up slowly, okay? Trying to do them more often, so take a chill pill. I'll get to your wand eventually, hopefully. So now let's move on to the next one. This one this is the first time I've done one of these. Oh, actually, you know what? I literally just thought of this, that this next one that I'm about to show you is very similar to this, and I did not even realize it until I just started talking about it, and I was like, it's very similar. Oh my god, it is. So anyway, it's this guy right here. So we have the icy version and the, I guess the lava version, the magma version here. Similar in a lot of ways. Man, maybe I should keep this one as my 2020 wand, because it's like the matching version of Meekachii's wand. I just realized that. Ooh, I have so many good wands this week. This sucks. I guess it doesn't suck, but it sucks because I want to keep all of them. If you guys are wand makers at all, you'll know that it's hard to get rid of your wands sometimes, and that's how I feel like a lot of times, and it's a bummer. This is actually made out of ironwood here, and this is actually all resin. So this is actually a red resin that I made for this. There's actually a little bit of sparkle and stuff in there. There's a little bit of gold flake in there. And I think it looks super cool. One of the reasons it looks cool is because you can actually, as you can see, if there's light there, you can actually see through it. Let's see if we can, there we go, that kind of works. So what I did is, obviously I made the red resin, and then I painted the whole thing black, and then basically carved away the parts that I wanted to show through. And there's actually a piece of aluminum that's actually attached to this piece that goes all the way through it, just to kind of give it a little bit more strength. Also, Meekachii's has the blue core, and then this has like a silver core, basically. And then what I did, I just realized this, that the wood comes up through here, and then we have the wood here. This is actually, I think I already mentioned this, but this is ironwood, and I actually just painted it black because I wanted the whole thing to match with this. It's nice and heavy down here. It's definitely more of a pommel heavy, so I would say you would hold it more towards the end as opposed to something like Meekachii's, where you would hold more like all the way up here. So you could see it kind of balances pretty much like right there. So you definitely would hold it a little bit more towards all the way at the end. And I freaking didn't even realize this, that they're like matching set. And now this one was, if you guys, okay, so if you guys, all right, here we go. If you guys watched the last wand review, you noticed that I left somebody for the very end. I left somebody's wands for the very end. And there was one wand on there that I was like, oh, this is so cool. I want to make a wand that's inspired by this one. So I did. It was the one with like the spiral on the handle and stuff. I was like, ooh, so it had like a pearlescent white spiral for the handle. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I, did something a little different. I was inspired by that spiral, but then I was just like, I'm going to change it up a bit because I don't want to just copy somebody's thing. So I did. I changed it up quite a bit. Some of you may like it less. Some of you may like it more. It's freaking humongous. And here it is. It is a very weird wand. Okay, so once I made this part, right? Once I made this part right here, I was like, ooh, that kind of looks like a handle to a sword. So I was like, let's make a dagger. So this is pretty much like a wooden dagger, as obviously you can see. You hold it like that. It's like, that's what I feel like when I hold this. I feel like I'm holding like a little dagger. So I did a couple things here. These are actually two separate parts. The reason I did it that way was because I wanted a very defined split right there. It's pretty much impossible to get this part right here carved the way it is without splitting it, without having two separate parts. So this part actually goes a little bit into here. This is actually two pieces of red heart. If you don't have a long enough piece, this is a great way to expand your length. So let's say a lot of the woods that we buy they come in 12-inch blanks. So instead of trying to just make something that's 12 inches, you can always combine two and make it longer. Make it pretty much however long you want. It is a little bit on the harder side to do that. As you can see, this one has kind of like a silvery, I was kind of going for that pearlescent, but I was like, let's make it a little darker. Let's put some like veiny marks and stuff in there. And that's what we got. And I think this handle came out super cool. This is the one that I'm thinking about keeping for myself. It is almost, what is it, 16? Almost 16? A little over 16? It is like an 1/8 short of 16 inches long. It is, I think, the longest wand I've ever made. I really like this wand. I just think it's so different. I really like the sword idea. There was a couple of, I think there were a couple of wands that recently I reviewed, and I was like, oh, these are like little daggers. That's really cool. And I really like them. And I think partially in my head when I was making the one that was inspired by the other one, I was thinking like, oh, this looks like a sword handle or a dagger handle. Let's embrace it. Let's keep going. Let's do this. I also was kind of going for like a flame-ish look. That's kind of what this part right here, you know, kind of like lightsabery, you know, like an energy sword almost. That's kind of what this shape was kind of inspired by. It was kind of like a solid flame. Does that make sense? A solid flame. I mean, I don't think a flame could be solid, but that's kind of what the inspiration for this guy was. Also, we got some little things here. So you can see that the bottom actually indents in a little bit. So I just thought that looked so cool. I love the color of this handle, that little bit of like a goldish color that it came out. And then obviously here, I burned it heavy. I went heavy with the burning here and then slowly lightened it out because I wanted the main burned part to be in the middle, and then kind of the guard was kind of protecting the handle, and then obviously the blade is just, you know, engulfed in flame. It's just like, brah. Out of all of these, I think that this guy is my favorite. I don't know if I should keep it. I like it a lot. I still think I like my original, I guess not my original, but my 2019 wand. But this one is like super cool. I'm contemplating keeping it. I don't know if I want to keep it. But let me know down below, guys, if you guys think it's cool too. If you guys like any other ones more. If you guys are going to pick up one. And if you guys want to submit your wands to New WandsDay, send them over to newwandsday@gmail.com. And eventually, like I said, I will get around to it. If you want to join us on Patreon so you get first dibs at these, make sure to check out the link at the end of the video and in the description. And if you are interested in picking up any of these, you can go to enderswands.com and you'll be able to find whatever ones are still available on there. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, if you want to check out our other channel, it's more of like a vloggy style. We're taking some road trips and stuff, and we're going to be doing more stuff like that on there. It's kind of like the second channel. Most of the things are going to be put on this, but that one's going to be the extra stuff. The more like chilled, us just hanging out stuff is going to be on there. So if you want to go check that out, that is also probably at the end of the video in the description, and the channel is called That Kai Life. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below. Whatever, all the YouTube stuff, you guys know how to do it. Thank you guys. See you in the next video. Bye.